Welcome to the Ambyria 2020 opening ceremonies for the Ambyria World Championship.
Yeah, we're Josh and Ben, and we're very excited to reveal the bracket for our tournament for you guys and kick off our biggest World Championship tournament that we've ever had so far.
Yeah, despite being confined, remote, quarantined, the whole thing, this is going to be the biggest yet, which we're very excited for.
Yeah, and we are kind of sad not to be able to see you guys all in person for a tournament this year, but we definitely wanted to keep it going. We've had 5 so far, so this is our 6th World Championship tournament after the first one when we launched our Kickstarter for Ambyria in 2015. So
wow,
we're pretty excited to be continuing this tradition, and we're excited to get underway. We're going to talk a little bit about the tournament and the rules, and then we'll reveal to all of our participants and the other viewers who our matchups are for the first round.
And we've tried all different formats throughout the 5 previous tournaments, 6 previous tournaments.
This is our 6th one.
This is our 6th. Okay. Yeah, we tried all different formats. So this is, while it's brand new, it's nothing new to try something new.
Yeah, we've had the Ember Stones in a couple previous tournaments. And we've got 16 people for a nice perfect bracket for this year. So we're going to be doing best of 3 matches. The winner moves on to the next round, and it'll take 4 rounds to get you through to a World Championship title. Now, I know a lot of people are very excited to just either try to reclaim their championship status. We've got all 3 previous World Championship winners competing this year, and we've got some other people who are excited to get their first championship under their belts. But Ben, why don't you tell them what the other prize is, which I know a lot of people are excited about as well.
So we got a big prize this year. This is similar to one of our rewards for our first Kickstarter, where we're going to actually include your likeness in the game. We've set aside a card that we are going to be able to include the winner's face in. That card is called the Bounty Hunter. So that's a little preview of the next Ambyria expansion. So we'll be hyping that up all tournament.
Yeah, and all of this year's competitors are going to be very anxious and working really hard to try to get themselves into Ambyria and be part of this game, for the rest of its existence. So I'm pretty excited to see who it's going to be, and all of our competitors are going to. Let's jump into discussing the rules, and we'll go from there.
All right, let's do it. So what are the rules this year?
So, as we said, it's a best of 3 set. People were randomly placed into these brackets that we're going to reveal. And once we do that, I'll set up some communication between our competitors, and you can communicate with each other, pick a time that works for you both, and jump in the simulator. You'll play a best of 3 set. Depending on who you're playing against, if you both use Discord, you can use Discord to communicate with each other. We've set up an Ambyria server for that purpose. And if that's the case, we can even stream some games.
Those of us that are new to the internet, including myself, what is Discord? Does it pair with Chaos?
Yeah, as does everything. But yeah, we're new to Discord too, so we're still learning. But it's something that's often used for people playing games. You can stream games as you play on Tabletop Simulator. You can use it as a chat to chat with each other just about the game, or ask any questions of us during the tournament, even when you're not playing. When you are playing, you can use it as a voice or video chat, and that way you can communicate with each other. For those of you that don't use Discord, however you want to communicate with your opponent is fine. If you'd rather use Zoom or a phone call, whatever you want to use, whatever works for the two of you, just some way that you can communicate while you're playing against each other.
All right, very cool. Any other rules to go over?
So for each match, if each competitor would like to choose the deck that they want to use of our 6 official decks, you can go ahead and choose. If you guys can't decide, or maybe if you both want to use the same deck, you can then randomly assign a deck instead. And that'll be up to you guys as you play. But we'll try and make sure that I'm available for at least a good amount of these games in case you guys have questions while you're playing, and I can help you with the simulator controls or anything like that as you go.
And mostly if the games are after 5, I will be able to join as well, so I'm really looking forward to that if it's a possibility. or on the weekends as well. I think this year we have some big name competitors returning, maybe some champions from previous years, including our first champion, Muhammad the Phoenix, who won in 2015 and 2016.
Yes, as well as the third year champion, Rachel, and Bob, who's our current two-time reigning world champion. So we could see our first 3 in a row this year.
Got 2 opportunities to see it. Muhammad actually missed maybe 1 or 2 years, so he's got a chip on his shoulder. Some of those he feels like it would have gone differently if he were there to defend it. But Bob and Rachel might say differently. I think they played well those years.
Yeah, and I know that the rest of our competitors are going to have something to say about that as well, try to add their name to the list of champions.
Yeah.
So with that said, let's start revealing our matchups in the bracket.
All right, who we have first?
So in our first matchup, we've got Jim, the demo team minion, versus Andrew, Azor 24.
Yeah, Jim has played or been on a part of our demo team for a couple of years now, and he's showed a lot of people how to play and is as good a player as he is a teacher, I would say.
Yeah, and due to location, he has not competed in our previous World Championship tournament, so very exciting for him to be able to compete this year for the first time, see if he can make a splash in this year's tournament. His favorite card is Seraphine. Very powerful hero, very destructive force, does not care about protection mode, so watch out when you're playing against Jim if he's the yellow deck.
And then Andrew will be joining us as well for the first time, correct?
Andrew does have a little bit of tournament experience, maybe 1 or 2 years he's competed. I know at least 1 year.
Yeah, and he's a very talented Ambyria player. I played against him myself in the past. His favorite card is the Witch, and that just says something about his play style, because the Witch don't care. She's just going to give you minus points and take positive points as much as she wants.
Yes, and these 2 competitors have never faced off against each other. It'll be a brand new experience for both of them, and I'm certainly excited to see how they do against each other.
Me too. Who's next?
So next we have Ivan, Uncle Gil, versus Rachel the Extreme.
So Ivan, we've known for a long time and plays Ambyria regularly, but he hasn't made it out to a tournament, also because of location, timing, life is busy. But, it's big prize this year, big draw. We have his favorite card listed, but I'm also well aware of his least favorite cards, the Elf Laborer and the Elf Foreman. And hopefully this year he learns their value and plays them frequently, and maybe it'll help him move along. Yeah.
And it's worth mentioning that while he does list the Spotted Mushroom as his favorite card, it's not because he likes it. It's because his friend and frequent competitor in Ambyria, Pete, hates it. So I think that tells you all you need to know about the kind of Ambyria player that Ivan is going to be. So you better watch out for him.
Oh, yes. And Rachel, the Extreme, you better believe that she's going to be nervous, and she's going to ask you if you're going to be nervous as well, to see if it throws you off your game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not nervous about this matchup. I know it's going to be very exciting. Rachel is known to throw people off with her play style, maybe playing some unusual moves and throwing people off with her strategies. She is definitely one to watch out for, especially being one of our previous World Championship winners.
I'd say she's one of our harder players to read in this game.
Yes, absolutely. These guys have played against each other once or twice. So they are a little bit familiar with each other's play styles, and we'll see how that adds to their matchup in this tournament. All
right. I'm looking forward to that one. All right. Who are these folks?
So next we've got Ransom, or Heroes Ransom, versus Kalya, our demo team overlord.
So Kalya is one of my favorite players. She as well has come as a member of the demo team, not only a member of the demo team, but the captain, or the overlord, if you will. And heads up, Ransom, she's going to play dark magic if she can.
Yeah, one of a handful of people who absolutely love dark magic, love to introduce some chaos into the game, which I think is great. Anything can happen. Again, this is her first time in our World Championship tournament, and I know she is super excited to have a chance to get her own face into the game of Ambyria. So she's definitely going to try as hard as she can for this tournament win.
Yeah, and this is going to be a fun matchup. Really fun. I hope we get this one streamed.
Yes. We also have Ransom. He is an Ambyria veteran, plays a lot of Ambyria. He's been away from the scene for a little while after moving away from some of his frequent players that he used to play with. So he might be a little rusty, but you know what they say, Ambyria is like riding a bike, and I'm sure he's going to be fine. He's listed the Hypnotist as his favorite card, which definitely one of my favorites as well. It I think is one of the things that opens up the or some possibilities for some of the most strongest moves in the whole game. Hard to plan around, hard to do successfully, but any player who can master the Hypnotist is going to be a real threat.
Yeah, we'll be watching for some power moves from Ransom this tournament.
And then we've got Katie the Usurper versus Nancy the Efficient.
Well, we can see that Nancy's favorite card is the Elf Foreman, and I can understand why. If you're in a pinch and you need more cards, that's the card you should play. And both of these people have played in tournaments before. We've not seen their names pop up yet. Have they faced each other in tournaments before? Have they made it to the finals before?
I'm not sure about making it to the finals. These two have definitely played against each other in many casual settings, at least, if not in the tournament itself. Definitely familiar with each other's play styles. I'm very excited to see how these two match up against each other. I know that this being the tournament, they're going to take it more seriously than normal. So this one is definitely going to be exciting as well.
Sure.
Yeah, you had mentioned Elf Foreman, Nancy's favorite card. Definitely makes sense. I've also played against Nancy a fair amount of times. She's definitely known for having a lot of cards in her hand, so I'm not surprised by that as her favorite card.
And Katie's favorite card, the Spellbook, that's a dangerous card, just like the Hypnotist, sometimes even better. You get Martyrs back in your hand for some power moves later. It's going to be an interesting game for sure.
Yes. Moving over to the right side of our bracket, we've got Tychicus Maximus Odysseus III versus Pam the Warrior. Very exciting matchup here.
This is one of the most interesting favorite cards, the Elf Laborer. It's like often used as a mode card. There's 4 of them in every deck, so you can use it for any mode you want, essentially, if you pick the right one. It's 3 points, the lowest positive number. So, Josh, why would TJ Tychicus, why would he pick such a small beans card?
Well, you know, I think people vastly underestimate the value of a good mode card. We all need a mode card, and it really is not great if you have to put a high value point card on there. So Elf Labor, always great for that. Could be a great card to sacrifice if you're playing a witch against your opponent. And, you know, we've mentioned before, there's a lot of value in having a lot of cards in your hand. TJ known for playing cards in different and unique ways that the opponents definitely could not anticipate. In my experience playing with him, he's played some of the most interesting moves I've seen, and I'm excited for what he has to show for us in this tournament. He's got some tournament experience, but he's definitely going to be vying for his first championship this year.
And we'll see how Pam deals with his Elf Laborer strategy. Her favorite card is the Magician's Tactic, which is a much more advanced card, and you really don't know what's going to happen when someone plays that face down card, how they're going to use it. The best guess, like your best guess is as good as mine, kind of thing. But Pam has as much experience playing Ambyria as any of the players out here, and I know she's very competitive. And also TJ's really good at stoking that competitive side, getting you to make some mistakes. So Pam, watch out, stay calm, be patient.
And here we have one of the matchups I'm most excited about. We've got Bruce the Inappropriate versus Muhammad the Phoenix. These two have a lot of experience playing against each other. Bruce, his favorite card being the Dark Magic. He loves the Dark Magic. If he gets it in his hand, he's going to play it. It doesn't matter what else is going on. So be ready for that chaos to ensue if you're fighting against Bruce.
Bruce might be mad at me, but do you think Bruce is intimidated playing against a former world champion, two-time world champion?
You know what? I think if anything, Muhammad should be a little bit intimidated. Again, with the dark magic, Bruce is a wild card. Anything can happen, and Muhammad is a two-time champion, but he better bring his A game. Bruce is definitely no easy opponent, and it's going to be a hard-fought battle, regardless of who comes out on top on this one.
And it's competitive field. So if he gets past Bruce, there's Pam and TJ waiting for him in the next one. But also the favorite card matchup here, very interesting. Could really get yourself into a weird place, rock in a hard place type of matchup. Phoenix during dark magic could be bad, could be good, depending on your position. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. And these guys have a lot of experience playing each other. So, it really could go either way, and even with that resume that Muhammad has there.
Yes, and I know that he has in part chosen the Phoenix as his favorite card as a metaphor for his own triumphant return to World Championship status. He's serious about this. He does want to be on that Bounty Hunter card in the expansion, but he is in it for the title. He wants a win here.
And also, if he does win, you can look forward to a victory speech, which, whoever wins, I hope we get a victory speech.
Absolutely. Moving on, we've got Bob the Beast versus Rebecca the Wraith. Bob, our reigning world champion, as we have mentioned before. He will be fiercely defending his title. He does not want to lose. A lot is at stake. He loves the bragging rights. And his favorite card, the Witch, he is a ruthless competitor. You better stay in protection mode if you're going to go up against Bob.
Yeah, and, Rebecca better watch out. It's going to be a very competitive matchup, and you know how he can be. So I'd say, if she can bide her time and sort of wait it out, not poke the bear, which is kind of an apt metaphor given that his name is the Beast and his avatar is a wolf there. So play it safe and then just collect big points, and in the end, you won't know what hit him. But Bob, don't yell at me for saying that.
And these two have tons of experience playing against each other. More so in a 2-versus-2 format with 4 players, but they definitely both know each other's play styles very well. I expect some high-level play between these two, and I cannot wait to see the outcome of this matchup.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be watching this one if I can.
And lastly, we have Karl the Imminent versus Nadia the Nefarious. Both great names. I think that alone tells you this is going to be a great matchup.
Yeah, Nadia, we've met at PAX 2 years in a row, and she's a great Ambyria player. We've had a lot of fun playing games with her, and I know she has her group that she plays with, in her own realm. Very new to competition, so I'm glad the group is going to be very welcoming, and while there's a big prize on the line, we're going to hope that there's some friendly, welcome competition here, and we really get something good going.
Yeah, and again, both of these two, first time in the World Championship tournament. Very exciting for the two of them to make their debut. As you said, we know Nadia from conventions, playing Ambyria. Karl as well. Karl, big time participant with us at some conventions, has demoed games for us at conventions as well. So we're very happy that he's getting to be a part of this tournament this year as well.
Yeah, very happy to have Karl. His name is pretty ominous, the Eminent. I hope that that's foretelling of something. I hope we see big things from him this tournament. But also on the flip side, the Nefarious, got to watch out.
Well, we all know how nefarious of a game Ambyria is. So I think those who embrace their nefarious side do have a leg up in this competition.
Oh, for sure.
But Karl as well, known to really think and plan out his moves. We know that we're going to see some big brain plays from him. This is going to be an exciting matchup for sure.
And I know I've played with a handful of people who say This isn't play nice, Ambyria. So.
Yeah, if you're being nice in Ambyria, you're not doing it right. This is for real people. This is the tournament. A title is at stake. Your own face on a card is at stake. No room for niceties in this tournament.
Yeah, your own face. You're real human. See what happens.
So that being said, we have our full bracket here. As I mentioned, I'm going to be reaching out to you all, connecting you with your opponent. And today, August 1st, is the official start of the tournament. So as soon as you're ready, get those games started. Keep us in the loop. Let us know when they are. And as these matches progress throughout the week, we will post on social media. We will tell you how they're going. We will tell you the highlights. It's going to be exciting. Ben, tell them where they can find us at social media.
So you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you would like to join the conversation, have something to say, want to talk about your matchup, talk about how it went, or if you watch somebody else's, you want to say something, just treat your tweet with the hashtag Ambyria 2020.
Yes, and I will post a link to all of those social medias in the description below, so you can find us easily. If you don't already follow us on those, go ahead and make sure you do and stay up to date. We wish all of our competitors good luck in this competition. We cannot wait to see how these things unfold.
And if you have anything to say about the matchups we just announced, if you have a favorite one, please let us know in the comments below. And with that, welcome to Ambyria.
Welcome to Ambyria. May the odds be ever in your favor, everybody.